Chris Godinez, licensed professional counselor, also the host of We Need to Talk on every Sunday at noon, and then I post it up to Facebook. This video is for educational and informational purposes only. If you feel you need a therapist, please go to Google, type in therapy, your city, Psychology Today will pop up, click on that, and it will have qualified therapists in your area. Also, the views and opinions stated herein are mine and mine alone. They do not represent the ACA, the APA, or any other damn therapist for that matter. Boom, shakalaka done. Okay, before I dive into questions, I need to apologize for using a racially insensitive term. It was unbecoming of me. It is not indicative of how I feel about the Native community. And in the future, I will be making an effort to refine my language and remove those things taught to me from a narcissist. And in that vein, I'm going to be doing a show with my friend Michelle on Wednesday, and we're going to be talking about the terms that we get taught, that we get brainwashed with from narcissists that are racially insensitive, why they do it, what the terms are, what the terms mean, and how we can stop normalizing it and catch ourselves when we do that. So that's going to be filmed on Wednesday. It'll probably need to be edited, and then we'll put it up as soon as we can. I'm hoping no later than Saturday. So there that is. Okay, questions. All right. Does Susanna speak Spanish? No, Susanna does not speak Spanish. I asked her. I was like, do you by any chance speak Spanish? She was like, no, I don't. I'm like, oh, okay. Question. My sister, 40, threw my sexual abuser in my face to hurt me because I don't want to move out and leave our house. She and I are on the deed. She and her fiance are living there. Any advice? So if your name is on the deed, you have legal rights. So I would definitely get with an attorney and see what you can do to either have her buy you out, you know, you buy her out, something like that. So talk to an attorney. That's the best way to do it. And this is where things get messy. And see, this is what narcissists do on purpose, is that they put siblings on a deed to a piece of property knowing that they don't get along, and it's intentional. Remember, they are all divide and conquer, divide and conquer. That's what they want to do. They don't like people getting along, and they love to stir the pot and set stuff up, even though they're dead or gone or incompetent or not around or whatever, so that there's contention. So they do this on purpose. They put two siblings on a deed or two siblings on a trust or whatever that they know they're going to be fighting, because that's what they do. So get with an attorney, see what your rights are, see what you can do. It's probably going to be a situation either where you buy her out or she buys you out. So there is that. Or if you cannot come to an agreement, the courts may just say, okay, you're selling the property and it's getting divided. So, unrelated to today's topic, if you know a young teen or adult who has been a victim of bad narcissistic abuse, should you say or do something to get them out as soon as they turn 18? No, you act now. You act now. If you know a child that is being abused, now here's the thing, and here's the caveat. DCS only acts on physical abuse. They generally do not act on emotional abuse because there's no evidence. It's a he said, she said situation, which is stupid and needs to be changed, if you want my personal opinion. So what you do is you can call DCS, Department of Children's Services, or CPS, Children's Protective Services. I don't know what it's called in your state. In our state here in Arizona, it is Department of Children's Services. So you're going to call them, you're going to file a report. You can file it anonymously, I think. Or you can let them know, hey, I don't want my name associated with this, but you do need to know that this is happening. So you get as many eyes on it as you possibly can. If there is abuse going on, if there is physical abuse going on, you absolutely contact DCS, or you can call 911 and file a complaint, or file a welfare check or whatever. It is imperative that that child get help as soon as possible. So what you could do, if they are a young adult, if they are over 18 and they are still being abused, like let's say they've got some sort of medical condition that they can't leave their abuser, like they're stuck in the house, then you want to contact Adult Protective Services. You need eyes on this. You need other people looking at this, and it needs to happen now. So yeah, tell DCS or the Department of Children's Services. If they're underage, if they're overage, you contact Adult Protective Services. You let them know your concerns, and you get as many eyes on it as you possibly can. Okay. Went to a craft fair in 8th grade, made a few $100s. Both of my parents came unglued about it. Was it about them losing their control or keeping me down, or both? D, all of the above. So controlling parents do not want their children being independent. A normal parent, like if one of my great nieces or nephews went to a crafts fair and made a couple of $100, I'd be all, woohoo, good job, go you, that's fabulous. But controlling parents are the ones who get angry. Why are they angry? It doesn't affect them. Well, it's because it's not theirs. So in other words, on Sunday, do you remember when I was talking about, like, if you buy something for you and they don't have it, they start coming unglued. Well, you need to buy me the same thing, or you need to give me your money. How dare you have a job? How dare you get this? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? So it's about them losing control, and it's also about them keeping you under their thumb so that they can continue to, either take your money or make you feel wrong for having money or control you or whatever. Absolutely. It is cuckoo. It is cuckoo what these people do. Every year, another question, every time my mom abuses me, every time after my mom abused me, she would shower me with gifts or money instead of an apology. Common. Because remember, narcissists don't apologize. They never admit to being wrong, ever, especially in abuse, ever. So you remember the abuse cycle that I talk about, the clock? So the 12 o'clock is the love bombing. That goes on to about 3. And then from 3 to 6, things start getting really weird. They start doing the devalue, the discard, the snarkiness, the nastiness. And then 6 o'clock is when the nasty, nasty, nasty abuse happens. And then there's the honeymoon period, right? And then we go back into the love bombing, and then we keep the cycle going over and over again. So abusers, when I worked at the homeless shelter, I would see this over and over again. There would be a domestic violence couple happening. They would, have their blowout, and then the next day the guy would be, or the girl, whoever the perpetrator was, would be showering them with gifts, right? Oh, I love you. You're fabulous. Please forgive me. Blah, blah. It'll be baby, I'll change. It'll be different. So this is not a love language, because the next part of this is, I always thought it was her love language, gifts. How is a love language different? Okay, so here's the deal. Love languages are not manipulative. Let me just say that again. Love languages are not manipulative. They are how we express love. And a gift is not necessarily money or things. It could be a poem. It could be a love note tucked into a lunch sack. It could be flowers. It could be, a drawing. It could be, those are gifts. Those are all gifts. Or it could be compliments. Those are the words of affirmation. But, it's a gift. It's no strings attached, given freely, not as a mea culpa, not as a manipulation. Does that make sense? So the best way to explain this is that it's a manipulation. It's a manipulation when they start throwing money at you or giving you lots of stuff, or, because they're trying to suck you back into their craziness, and they're trying to make you take your guard down so that you go, oh no, see, they really love me. No, abuse is not love. If it hurts, it's not love. It's not love. It is not love. It is a manipulation. So in a love language, it's not a manipulation. It's how you express love to other people. I love to cook for people. That's my thing. I have discovered during this whole quarantine thing has sucked ass. Don't get me wrong. But the one good shining thing that has come out of this is, A, I like to cook, and B, I'm actually pretty good at it. I'm surprised when I say that, because I never really had time to cook. So cooking, or, feeding people, nourishing people, that gives me a great sense of joy. And that's how I show them I love them, and there's no strings attached. It's not a manipulation. It's not, I do this for you, you do this for me. This is all, oh my God, I just cooked this amazing thing. Try it, So it's like, there's no manipulation. There's no agenda. There's no, I'm doing this to get this kind of thing. And with an abuser, when they shower you with gifts after they've abused you, that is trauma bonding like nobody's business. Remember, trauma bonding is abuse, 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 love, 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 abuse, 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 love, 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 or their version of love, 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 love. So to them, love is stuff. Love is money. Love is things. Because they literally cannot relate love, like the emotion, and express it and say it. Like healthy, normal people, they are out there, believe me, and we are out there when we start working on ourselves. Healthy, normal people are able to see somebody that they love and say, I love you. You just are fantastic. Thank you. You know, and there's no strings attached. There's no expectation of a return. There's no expectation of anything. But with a narcissist, it's this trauma bonding of, I'm going to abuse the crap out of you. Oh, I'm going to lose you if I don't make you feel like I love you. Okay, I'm going to make you feel like I love you by throwing stuff and thing and money at you, right? And then you get hooked back in, and then they abuse the crap out of you again. And it's just this cycle that just goes over and over again. That is not the love languages. So let's go over what the love languages are. Love languages are, okay, gifts, right? So a gift can be something as simple as a love note tucked into your lunch. You know, it can be flowers. It can be, you know, just a simple text, you know, hey, I was thinking about you. Hey, have a good day. You know, that type of thing. There is acts of service. So, you know, cooking, cleaning, doing something nice for the other person, maybe changing their oil, you know, acts of service, mowing the lawn, you know, that type of thing, doing the dishes. Then there's words of affirmation. I want you to know how amazing you are. I just wanted to say thank you for what you're doing, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That is a words of affirmation, you know, validation. I see you. I see you. Words of affirmation. Oh Lord, there's two more. Physical touch. Like my brain just kind of went, pfft. Physical touch. So physical touch can be sex, absolutely. It can just be holding hands. It can just be, you know, touching each other, rubbing each other, sitting next to each other while you're watching a movie, comforting each other when you're watching Endgame, which is what John and I did last night. You know, because that movie, God, Robert Downey Jr. Anyway, the point being is that it's physical touch. It's touching. It's massage or holding hands or sex or things like that. Quality time. And that is different for everybody. What is your quality time? For some people, it can be quality time is just sitting and watching a movie together. That could be considered quality time. Other people, their quality time is, no, I want quality time, meaning I want a deep intellectual conversation with you or a deep emotional conversation with you. I want to be connected to you and have quality time that way. Let's discuss the universe. Let's discuss what's going on. Let's discuss. That's quality time for that person. Other people, it's as simple as sitting on the couch together and watching a movie. And this is why it's important to talk about the love languages when you are with somebody, when you are strong and stable and self-aware, self-esteem is in place, your boundaries are in place, you got your list of deal breakers, you're dating somebody now, healthy, and you want to talk about your love languages, because if one person is talking a love language that is, say, for example, acts of service, so they're always mowing the lawn or doing the dishes, but your love language is quality time, you know, you're always wanting to spend time with them, they're always wanting to do the dishes, and so neither one of you really feels loved, even though you know you're loved, but it's not quite the same. So you got to learn to speak each other's love language, which means communication. That means talking to the other person. What is your love language? How do you know that you're loved? How do you know that you're loved? You know, so, and you can have all of them. It's not, some people have predominantly one, maybe predominantly two. Some people, it's all of them, you know? So it's really important to discuss, how do you know that you're loved? What can I do to show you that you're loved? That's a good question to ask. So that's the difference. And remember, if it hurts, it is not love. If it is a fake apology, no apology said, right? And no, obviously, change in action, because that's what you got to look for, is a change in action, right? So if there's no change in action, then that's not a real apology. So a real apology is, I'm sorry, I hurt you, here's the course correction, and it won't happen again, and then it doesn't. But with an abuser, it's either no apology or I'm sorry you made me, I'm sorry but, you know, all that crap. No, that's no. And then there's no action to follow that up. So that's the difference, is that the love languages, there's no agenda. It's simply a love language. This is how I know I'm loved. This is how you know you're loved. Let's speak each other's language so that we can make sure that we both feel loved. So there's the difference. Okay. Where am I? Okay. Is it justified to be mad at my family for not helping me when I struggled, with some of them wanting to be on my social media and even saying how proud they are of me for earning my success? You know, your emotions are your emotions. You know, it's not, you have a right to be angry. If you're angry, you're angry, you know? And I think this is where a lot of us get screwed up coming from dysfunctional, narcissistic, abusive families, is that whenever we did have a genuine emotion, whatever that emotion was, whether it was anger or sadness or even happy, if it wasn't about the narc, they didn't, you know, they didn't like it. They would do what they could to sabotage it. Or they would say things like, I'll, you know, oh yeah, you're mad at me, I'll give you a reason to be mad at me. Or, oh, you know, I'll make you feel this way. Or how dare you feel this way, or whatever. So the thing of it is if you have anger towards your family, it's a really good idea to get with a really good trauma therapist and work on that. Why? Because anger is like holding two hot coals, resentment, holding two hot coals, intending to throw it at somebody else, but you're the only person getting burned. It doesn't help. Love is the highest power. Doesn't mean you have to have them in your life. Don't practice idiot compassion. So, but what it does mean is you don't let them live up here, and you don't let them dictate your day-to-day life. You don't. So the way to do that is to write it out. What are you angry about? And underneath the anger, what is underneath the anger? There is sadness. There is fear. There is hurt. You know, anger is not a pure emotion. Love is love, lust is lust, happy is happy, sad is sad. Anger is always driven by hurt, fear, sadness. It's the protector. It's the bodyguard of the softer emotions. So you want to get underneath the anger. What is underneath that anger? Why are you so angry at them? Oh, okay. They're taking accreditation for your accomplishments. They're saying, oh, you know, we're so proud of you, even though we didn't help you out. You know, it's like, what? There's an old children's story about, you know, help me make a pie, but nobody would help the person make the pie, and then they expected a piece of the pie. So it's kind of the same thing. That's what narcissists do. They expect the kids to make a pie, but then they want the whole pie, and they'll take credit for having cooked it. So yeah, it's normal to feel what you're feeling. I would definitely get with a good trauma therapist and start working through that original wound. And I would really seriously ask yourself the question, if you were not related to these people, would you have anything to do with them? That's a really good question to ask. And if the answer is no, I would not, then you need to start separating yourself from them, start going gray rock, start going low to no contact. Social media, get them off your social media. If they're, you know, you can put them on things, so it's like it posts to everybody but. You can do that. Or you could just defriend them, or you could block them, or whatever you need to do. But you have a right to your emotions, so I would work through those emotions. Don't resist them, because when we resist something, it comes roaring back. It's kind of like, no, 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 I'm not thinking about it. I don't want to feel it. I'm not thinking it. I'm not blah, blah, blah. And then, you know, what am I thinking about the whole time? That feeling, that emotion, that whatever. And so we stay in this state of uncomfortableness when really it just takes that moment of uncomfortableness to go, oh, look at that. I am really pissed off at Aunt Becky and this person and that person because, let me write it out, oh, they're taking away my accomplishments. They've done nothing to help, and yet they expect praise for it. What the fuck? Yeah, you have a right to that. So get with a good therapist and start working on that. Absolutely. And start working on detachment, letting it go, not participating in idiot compassion. You can have compassion for them. You absolutely can. You can have absolute compassion for them, but do not let them in your lives if they're harming you. Absolutely. Okay. Where am I? Okay. Dad loved the casino, and after he died, Mom got the Social Security for me. But I was forced to cover my own expenses, and she bought herself a brand new car with the cash. I've had problems with budgets. I'm not sure. I'm wondering. I'm not an attorney. I wish I had time to become one, because a lot of these questions are like legal questions. I mean, they're psychological, but they're like legal questions all at the same time. I would talk to an attorney and see if there's any recourse. I don't know that there is, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to do that, because there's got to be something in there that they have to not spend it on themselves. I don't know. I don't know enough about the laws to tell you, but I would say talk to an attorney. I really would. As far as budgeting is concerned, we are all having problems with budgeting. When we come out of an abusive relationship, especially if it was a family and we were raised by narcissists where they tightly controlled the purse strings, or they used money as a punishment or a reward or whatever. There is not a survivor out there, I think, that has not come out going, how the hell do I budget? Oh my God, I hate budgeting. What the fuck? So that's why it's really important. Get into a budgeting class. I know that Catholic Charities did one at one point. I'm pretty certain that Fresh Start Women's Resource Center here in Arizona does that type of thing. They do budgeting classes. I would find a budgeting class. Ask around. There's got to be some out there. And there's got to be some online too. So look for that. Do that, because it's important for us to take control back from that time period in our life, that inner child that got told, you know, oh, we don't have enough money. Meanwhile, they're buying themselves cars, right? So it's time to work on that. So get to a budgeting site, either online or go to a place and take a budgeting class, and change the way you think about it. The way we think about money is really difficult because we have so much of this stuff that's not even ours, right? So either we've gotten the message that, you know, money is evil, dirty, bad, shouldn't have it, how dare you have it, no, you need to give me all your money, that kind of thing. Or we get this message of, oh, you're incompetent, I need to hold the purse strings, you can't deal with your own money, let me deal with it, blah, blah, blah. And then we never learn how to, because they never teach us. They never let go of the purse strings and go, okay, here, learn how to balance a banking account. They never do that. So instead of thinking of it as something as horrible, awful, terrible, boring, whatever, because trust me, guys, I used to do the same thing. When John and I, bless his heart, when John and I got together, I was terrible at balancing budgets. Terrible. I hated it. Hated it. Because it felt like a punishment to me, because that's how my family would use money, as a punishment. You know, it was, we'll take this away from you. We'll do this to you. We'll do that to you. And we come across that, it follows us into adulthood. So we've got to stop thinking the way we thought about money when we were kids. And we've got to start recognizing, hey, I get to change the way I think about money. It's not a punishment. It's a means to an end. It is freedom. It is. You know, but it's a means to an end. It is not what my father made it mean. It is not what my mother made it mean. It's not what my brother made it mean. It's not what any of my sisters made it mean. I can make it mean what I want it to. So we got to start changing the way we relate to money. We got to start changing the way we think about money. And we cannot allow that to control us. We get to control it. It does not get to control us. So again, go back through the Inner Child Workbook, the CPTSD workbook, and work through your relationship to money. What were those messages? Where did you get them? What did you believe? What is running subconsciously in the back of your mind? How can you get that out? So that's what I would suggest. Okay. Okay. So yeah, so get into a good budgeting class. That would be good. Is that also trauma bonding when parents tell you of all the impending doom with problems with money as a young kid? Yes, absolutely. They want you terrified. They want you terrified 24/7. I hate this part the worst. When I deal with a divorcing couple, right, and I'm seeing usually the healthier of the two, very rarely do I see the narcissists. They come 2 times and then they're like, and then they leave. But when I'm working with the healthier partner and the kids from that, the narcissist will tell the children everything, like sexual problems. They will tell them financial problems. They will tell them personal problems. They will use the kids as their own personal counselor. Do you know how badly that fucks up kids? You probably do, because I think we've all been there. So yeah, that fucks up kids like nobody's business, because now they're worried about adult problems. It's not their job. And in a lot of cases, the kids are cognitively not able to separate this all out. I mean, they're little, like 6-year-olds sometimes know more about their parents' sexual exploits than they should, especially during a divorce. So do you see where I'm going with that? I mean, it's crazy. It's abusive. Absolutely. And it is trauma bonding. And it is a way to keep us in fear. It's a way to keep us in fear. Oh, I can't ask for that because we don't have any money. Oh, okay, well, I'll just eat a little less because we don't have any money. It's okay. My shoes have got holes in them, but it's okay. I can make them last another year. Lack and scarcity, lack and scarcity, lack and scarcity. Because they don't want you asking them for anything. My dad did the same thing. Don't get me started. Anyway, he would do the same thing. And it's a way to they're projecting their problems onto the kids. The kids are now absorbing it and trying to fix it. And this is where we get codependency from, because then we try to fix it as kids. So yeah, this is absolutely trauma bonding. All right, how is the best way to break a connection that narcs make? Okay, so narcissists, abusers, any abuser, are damn near psychic. I swear to God, it's like when you decide to break away from them, when you decide you're done with them, that is the very day that they call. or when you're finally like, oh, here's my list of deal breakers. I'm done. Wow, I see all of this stuff. I don't want anything more to do with them. They do the Hoover. It really is crazy. So what you want to do is you want to get grounded in who you are, and you want to write and burn letters. I'm done. I'm not interested. I am breaking this connection to you, you know. Real or imagined, it doesn't matter. Energy is energy. So basically what you want to do is you want to write and burn a letter to them, making it very, very clear. Done. Finito, benito. And if you want to do a physical representation of that, there's two ways you can do it. And I'm going to get a little out there, a little metaphysical here, so just bear with me. You can either imagine detaching any hooks that they have into you and just let them slither back to the narcissist, or you can literally get like, you know, a string and like, okay, I'm cutting this cord, I'm cutting that cord, I'm cutting this cord, fuck the fuckity fuck out of fucking fuck you, we're done, bye-bye. And then burn the letter, burn the cords, be done. And, you know that you don't need to have them in your space in any way, shape, or form, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, psychically, whatever. You don't need them. They're not allowed. Do not enter, wrong way, seriously. So yeah, that's how you kind of start breaking that. And especially if they try to contact you, do not respond. Do not respond. That's one way that they keep us thinking about them. Everything's energy. So they keep us thinking about them, and it makes it feel like it's stronger. So no, we're done. You're out of my life. Click. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye. Do you see where I'm going with that? So write and burn, cut cords, unscrew cords, meditate, let it go, send it back, send it to the universe, send it to God, send it to Boofa Baba. I don't care. Just let it go. Let it go. I'm just start singing Disney. Let it go. Seriously, because it's the less energy you put onto their manipulations, the less they have to work with. Does that make sense? So especially if they hoover you, they're looking for that response. They need something to fight against. They have to have something to fight against. If you just kind of go whoop and they just slide on past you, they got nothing. So just let them go whoop and slide on past. That's what you want. All right. Oh, Heather. Hey, cool. Heather, I saw her in Minneapolis last year. She's doing well, trusting her gut, knowing that they're not wrong about their abusers. Thank God. I'm so happy for you, Heather. That's awesome. And thank you for letting me know. That's so cool. I so wish I could get back to Minneapolis. You have no idea. Okay. My narc mom never used to give us enough food for our school lunches, which resulted in me and my sister binging on food. I really struggle now with overeating. Yes. Okay. So this is common in survivors of abuse. So we end up with eating disorders. We do. We either end up anorexic, bulimic, anorexic and bulimic, overeating, punishing ourselves, you know, for eating. It's just stuff that our abusers shoved into our head. Get with a good trauma therapist, one that understands eating disorders or one that understands the connection between eating disorders and trauma. Hugely important. It's really important that you work on this because you are worthy of having a healthy relationship with your body and with food. Food is a wonderful thing. I did one on this, on food, I think it was last year. And narcissists love to take away from us that which makes life enjoyable. Food is one of the things that makes life enjoyable. It is, you know, it tastes good. It's comforting. And so what they do is they use it like money. It's another form of trauma bonding. So if I'll give you food and now I'm going to take it away, and now I'm going to give you food and now I'm going to take it away. It's trauma bonding. It's trauma bonding. Again, it goes back to trauma bonding. So they love to manipulate with that. It's not uncommon. You're not alone. You're not alone. So get with a good trauma therapist that understands the connection between the eating disorder, you know, overeating, and trauma. And what is the original wound that you're trying to heal? Okay, I'm running out of time. Holy crap. Okay, how can I protect the inheritance from my narc brother who has conned mom into controlling her finances and have power of attorney? Okay, again, this is a legal issue. I wish I had a law degree. Of course, it would only be good for Arizona, but I would get with a good attorney. I really would, you know. And the thing of it is, though, is that when you are dealing with things like that, you have to prove that the person is not able to make their own decisions. So you have to prove that there's some sort of dementia or they're unable to legally make decisions. So, and that's kind of hard to do unless there is dementia going on and it's documented and this, that, and the other thing. I would get with an attorney, ask questions. You know, it's usually, I'm guessing, $300 to talk to an attorney and just kind of throw all the questions at them and then see if there's anything that can be done. But I would get with an attorney because that's a legal question. I don't know what to tell you. What can be done to fix the child support system? In many cases, the narcissistic parent will withhold the money that was meant for the child and spend it on themselves. Oh my God, so many times. So many times. I am so frustrated with our legal system. I am so frustrated with our quote-unquote family court system. It's just... Why? Because a lot of the judges are narcissists themselves. I think I've said this before. A lot of the attorneys are narcissists themselves. The thing that I think that we can do is we've got to organize. So get together with other groups that are targeting, you know, changes in the justice system or targeting changes in the family court system. And I think, again, this is why I do my channel, is to put an eye on it. It's like, this is a problem. This is a fucking problem. This is a fucking huge problem. I can't even begin to tell you how big of a problem this is. And who suffers? The kids. And that makes me mad. That really fucking pisses me off because these poor little guys and girls did nothing to deserve this, and they're trapped in the middle of, you know, between a family system, family court system that doesn't understand abuse, doesn't understand narcissists, doesn't understand financial abuse, doesn't understand a whole lot, and this, you know, abusive parent that's withholding and not feeding them and not giving them clothes and playing games and sending them back and forth with no shoes in the dead of winter. Don't get me started. You know, it just, so what you have to do is, I would say, find groups that are targeting the family court systems and see who we can contact, what we can do, who we can talk to, how can we make this public, how can we put an eye onto it. Again, with any abuse, the best thing to do is put an eye on it, or more than one eye. Bring it to consciousness, bring it to light. So yes, the family court system is really fucked up, and the kids are the ones who pay for it. So I don't know, so let me do some research and find out what those groups would be, and then the next time I do a Q&A, I will list it out, and I'll put it in the comments, and you know, there's some options, there's places to contact. The other thing you can do is you can contact, obviously, state and local representatives. I don't know if they're listening or not, doesn't feel like it. But yeah, that's what I would suggest. So let me do some research, find out what groups are targeting the family court systems that we can, you know, affect change, and do it that way. So let me see what I can find. Okay, guys, I am out of time, and I will answer the rest of these questions. There's about 5 or 6 of them left during the next one. So remember, on Wednesday, I am going to be doing a video with my friend Michelle. We are going to be talking about how we are brainwashed by our narcissistic parents to have these, you know, phrases and things that are racially insensitive, that harm other people, that we're not even aware of their meaning. And that's what we're going to discuss. We're going to discuss what do these things mean? Why are they offensive? And how can we stop normalizing them? And I think that's really important, because I was raised by a narcissist who was incredibly racist, incredibly homophobic, incredibly sexist, just nonstop. And the things that he said, unfortunately, are still locked up in my brain, which I really hate. So we're going to work on that. So there is that. All right, guys, I am running out of time. Have a great week. Hopefully I will get that video out with Michelle on, I'm hoping today, Wednesday is when we're going to film it. It'll take me a day to edit it. So probably Friday, Saturday at the latest. And then on Sunday, I'm going to be doing one on Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. I want to talk more about the trauma bonding. I really think that, you know, we think it's just emotional, but boy, howdy, it's trauma bonding about a whole bunch of different topics, like money, like love, like etc. And I want to go more into that so you know what to watch for, or you understand how to process that. So, all right, kids, have a great week, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.